I want to make something with really low resource use so that anybody can come here and record with this template and just fire it up and not worry about it too much. It's the most important thing that I found for clicks and pops and trouble is going to be this right here, this RT longest block. And as much as I love bias effects, I mean, I love the sound of bias. I'm really just not as happy with any other amp simulator multi-effects thing as I am with bias, but it is a muncher on that RT CPU. So and the RT CPU and the RT longest block. So I want to try out some of Alex's over at Audio Assault. He has this duality bass thing. So first of all, I really like Bass Professor, but for one thing, it's latent, and for another thing, I've been getting high RT CPU. Sometimes I get clicks and pops with it. So let's see what happens. So right now we're at 0.25 milliseconds and 1.4, 1.5 RT CPU. I'm gonna turn on duality, and let's see where we get to now. Meters on here. I see. Yeah. Yeah. See, that RT CPU juice jumped up huge, man. That's like 12%. Watch. I'm gonna turn this off, and you see it immediately jumps down. So I don't know. This is kind of a sketchy thing for me to use. Maybe I'm gonna do something else for bass. Unless there's a oversampling. Alex, I don't know if you're watching. Oh, you know what? Let me turn off the IR. That might be what's doing it. Let me turn off cabinets. So when I turn off the cabinet, yeah, look at it jump down. It's not tons, but it's, you know, we're still really low on the longest block. I mean, I just don't know. So I had this thing doing some pretty crazy compression stuff. I'm not sure on this bass what's what. I'm just afraid with that much RT CPU use, this thing's gonna make some clicks and pops. But the longest block is still really low. Yeah, I'm not a bass player. Sorry. Yeah, I like the way this thing sounds. I just don't know if it's a smart thing to use. Let me show you just as comparison. Let me pull up bias effects and hopefully this doesn't crash. So you saw we were getting up into the 12, 13% with duality. You see how long this thing takes to load? Look, so now it's loaded the plugin, but it still hasn't loaded the GUI. I'm gonna reset the graph as soon as it's actually loaded. You can get into some weird situations where this thing crashes you too. So this is a dual amp path. So like 26%, 1.23. Let me use a single amp path. Let's just load up a bass guitar setup. Just want a regular old bass, man. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm gonna reset this again. So like I'm at 26+% real-time CPU. So duality is like half of that, but then again, man, this thing has a lot of. And again, it's gonna be this cabinet. Watch, I'm gonna turn this cabinet off. I ain't doing that much. Wait, no, did I turn it off? No, here we go. There we go. Now the cabinet's off. Look at that. Look at that, man. This is actually lower CPU use than duality. That's crazy. It's actually about the same longest block time too. Now if I trusted bias to run, and if it didn't take so long to fire up, I'd probably just be using this. I mean, this is actually decent resource use. I don't have bias on the other computer. I don't know that I trust it. I mean, I don't know about for bass, but I absolutely love the biases sounds on guitar. Man, they're like, okay, so let me we gotta do some business real quick. Okay. So let me show you what happens if I'm gonna pull in Ignite's impulse loader. Turn off all this stuff. So here's a full-featured impulse loader, okay? So right now, total RT CPU is 8.7. I'm gonna turn it off. So this thing uses like 1%. Like this thing uses so much less. And I have a feeling that yeah, man, it's crazy because bias has, I'm sorry, the bias has the better effects as well. But let's just see if I run duality with that cab loader. God, it's still a lot, man. Oh, wait a second, turn off the cabinet. Okay, I think this is comparable, if not less, than bias effects. Let me turn this back on. It's about the same. Longest block is 0.58. Let me reset that. Longest block. It's going up in the 50s. 8, almost 9%. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to duality. It's about the same, maybe a little bit higher. Maybe it's actually a little bit more CPU use. And, yeah, it's actually a little worse on duality. But I could probably move these IRs out and do it. Definitely. Ignite is going to use a lot less, so let me talk to Alex later about this. But yeah, I don't know if this is safe to try and use. I mean, total CPU is still really low. Yeah, seriously, I'd love to use bias. I just don't. It's just sketchy. So let's dial in an okay bass sound. Okay, sorry. Okay, so for one thing, see, I don't care about these. Okay, so let's just pull up a cabinet. Okay, so here's the sound. So here's with the cabinet. I mean, yeah, it makes it mellower. Is that a good thing? I don't know if this bass is just dull or what, but let me put it on the other pickup. So that's with the cabinet. Here's without. And yeah, we're getting into some distortion, but that's you know, the cabinet volume shouldn't be doing that much. We can definitely make up the volume. This, I'm just not convinced we need cabinets, you know. Just sounds dull to me. For all I know, this bass needs another battery, or I don't know. I'll turn on the treble booster. Okay, let's try it without the cabinet. I mean, it's a little fartier, but seems like stuff I take care of with the compressors or whatever, right? Jack, let's get into what exactly this thing can do. I don't know what the different channels do. I think this crunch knob makes it like, watch. I mean, yeah, it makes it louder, but adds some distortion, but it seems to add a lot of compression. But let's just try. See, and he's got the compressor after everything. Let's try this compressor. So no meters, nothing. We'll just go with what he's got. So there's an auto gain compensation. You hear it farting out now too. So I don't know where that distortion's coming from. I don't know. Now if I put on the cab, watch, the distortion will go away. I'm betting. No, it's still farting. So why are we? Is it just that attack time, or is it the release time? Turn up the attack time some. I'm not necessarily getting that distortion anymore. Let me turn off the, so the cab's off. So is it the attack? I'm just not convinced this effects I want to use. I've got others, but let's say I didn't use this at all. So I go for a compressor. wants to fart out too. You hear it? So does that actually exist? Not hearing it, but this bass and auto release real quick. Nope, that's not helping. Now that's not gonna be fast enough to catch a really nasty clacker. But now the distortion's gone away. And this is just a compressor. There's no amps, there's no cabinets, there's no nothing. And look at how low the CPU use is. And let's check the RT CPU. So it's about half the resource use. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Sorry. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to get some beta testers for our AIX DSP plugins. So anyway, this is nice for let me see. I have a problem with the tone booster stuff in that it doesn't. It's got a latency at the beginning until you hit play, but that should be okay. Well, I mean, we'll just hit play and just remind them to hit play. See, so before you hit play the first time, see that buffer. Now after I hit play, it's gone to 0, so it's fine. Let's see. So without doing any, well, let's see what it's gonna be if I ooh, it's gonna need some work. Okay, so the high end here, just in case there's some clackers, I'm gonna turn on the dynamic EQ here. I really like this plugin. It's pretty badass, actually. Doesn't seem to be doing jack diddly though. Like. I'm gonna put some makeup gain on this sucker. Oh, that's gross. This bass just doesn't have that clang. I don't know what's going on here. Did I put the distortion back in by putting this compressor on? Okay, so I'm just going to put a high pass filter on this. I'm going to check the real-time CPU use at the end. And that's kind of it. Okay, so even with all this, still way below what those amplifiers were. And this EQ is probably not the very good idea, but just gonna leave it like this for a while. Still sounds really muddy. I don't know if it's just this bass. It might need batteries. Strings could be all grossed out, who knows. Actually, you know what? That sounds pretty good. Okay, so that's just gonna have to remember to hit play, I guess. But that doesn't really, you know, like I'd love to have a mix-ready template done. I really don't like making a distinction, but I really end up using bias effects in the mixes. Let's see if I can get some audio assault. You know, I'm gonna test the 9 volt in this thing real quick. Sorry, I'm gonna pull this battery real quick. You guys talk amongst yourselves, or whatever it is you do. Okay. I have a feeling, you know, it could just be old strings, or just the way this bass never really was particularly zingy to me. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this battery is only for the active EQ or whatever. So, but I'm gonna test it right now. This old Radio Shack when they were still around, 9 volts, so could be old, who knows. In fact, here we go, let's see. Welcome to my mess here. Where's just gonna multimeter this thing. And 9 volts, so yeah, that ain't it. Okay, so this thing definitely had 9 volts, so that ain't the problem. It's just not a zingy bass, maybe. Or maybe these strings are ancient. You know, these strings are ancient. Never mind, maybe the strings are ancient. These strings are ancient. I'm just going to screw this back in real quick. It's almost time to go to the skate park, man. Like, what am I doing in here? Trying to get some beta testers in for our Pro Tools versions of our plugins. Let me turn that back off. We're going to go back to... oh man, I think this thing's stripped. Oops. Alright. Yep. Yep. Hold on. 1 second. It's just right. The numbers are this, so I gotta keep going. Okay, sorry about that. So, I think I got the bass thing under control. You can get some guitar sounds. You get a basic clean and a basic distorted. They were biased. I'm telling you, man, this thing sounded killer under bias, but yeah, it's just too munchy. Okay, sorry about that. So, I think I got the... Okay, so I'm gonna grab a guitar. I'm gonna show you what's going on here. Sorry for the in-betweens. Okay. Kaboom! Okay, so here's my favorite bias effects amp, and maybe you don't like it, but I really do. And of course it won't work just because I said that. Guitar sounds really bad right now. It's time to change my strings. Okay, so now I'm gonna choose what I'm gonna try and do here. Yeah, I'm gonna send a couple more of these out for beta testers, and then you know, nobody's actually answering me whether or not they're gonna actually be able to test these. So, you know, don't jump on if you don't want to do it. Anyway, so let's I'll pull up some audio assault stuff and try and match this tone a little bit. Okay, so we got a couple things. Got Hellbeast, Bulldozer, Dominator, Emperor. I really like Emperor. Grind Machine 2, which I really, really, really like, and seems to be able to handle everything on its own. It's just, I think it's munchy. Let me, so I'm gonna pull up that and Emperor. Adam, I thought I already sent you something, didn't I? Yeah, I don't know if you're watching, Adam, but oh, I swear I sent you something. Sorry. Sam Jenkins. Which one is Sam Jenkins? Communication specialist. Hi. Don't let me be a peckerhead. Sorry. Okay, let me just pull up Grind Machine. Oh, so let's get a baseline here. So, Bias Effects 2. So let's get our baseline back, okay? Reset graph, so 1.8 RT CPU, 0.16 RT longest block. Here's Bias Effects. 22% RT CPU, okay? That's pain, right? 1.2 milliseconds RT longest block. That's almost half of our almost half of what we got to work with, so that's kind of sketch-o-matic, I would think. So I'm not gonna. So that's what we got to get better then. 20. Jesus. You know, it's really weird though. Normally I love this sound. Right now I'm hating this sound. So something's going on. how fallible our ears are too. Who knows? Okay, so here's grind machine. I'm gonna pull up my favorite cabinet, same cabinet I'm using on that other thing. So it should be somewhat the same. A lot of real-time CPU. Too much, I would say. The longest block isn't too bad. Listen to this. Sound, and it eats a lot of CPU. So let's try Emperor real quick. The same cab. Okay, same cab. About the sound. My guitar's feeling really crappy. I don't know if I need to do a looks like I might need to loosen the truss rod. Okay, but this isn't using very much CPU. This is actually pretty good. So I'm going to get one more thing on here. And then there's a chance that actually, let's go back to grind machine. I'll turn the cabinet off. That doesn't change it by much. Okay. There's one more that may bear a look, and that's Revolver. So let's just take a look at what Revolver's eating here. Okay, so let's look what Revolver's eating. Let's give it a 5150 type of deal. Same thing. Now I can never get this thing to quite give as much grunt as the Oh yeah, how do I put impulses in here? I can never get this as grunty as the bias version. Okay, high performance, full time, third party IRs. Okay, so let's try that. So I get rid of this one. Okay, there's that same impulse. Now the trouble with this one for me just doesn't feel like it has as much gain, right? Weird. Let me put the put a pedal on here. Really like the way it sounds. Set it the same way as bias. I don't like that. Like you just saw it jump across there. Hear it drop out there. Okay, now let's check out the actual resource use here. About the same as Emperor, honestly. I'm a little bit less scared to use Emperor. Safer to use Emperor, I think. A little bit less CPU. I'm not as thrilled with the sound, but I'm just gonna knock these out of here for now. So goodbye bias. So Alex has others. I know, so it's gonna be a problem when it goes for the multi-effects parts of this. So he's got a couple, I think a Hell Beast or something like that. I'm just gonna see whichever one has the closest kind of same CPU use. Here it is, Hell Beast. It's very, very, very low CPU use. That tube screamer really knocks it up there, doesn't it? 1% of it. Might not need it. There's just something thin in it. But you know, this will work. This is nice. Let me change the cab. Sorry. So I'm gonna have to make sure these are the same on all the on all the computers, but put it on my E30 closed low gain. Here we go. So this is the same one. It's just kind of buzzy, weird thing with Alex's amps. See, the other one, I think you can change it to like a mellower amp. I think this one is just pure. What does this thing do? More gain. Try turning down the gain. No, it's not that thick kind of. I have to give too much to it. It's just not my ideal sound. But you know what? This will work for a template, that's for damn sure. So we need our cleans. Okay. So I'll get to that later. Gotta fix some stuff up around here.